So here on You're Never the Only One, we provide you with a melting pot of topics. We can be lowbrow at times.
Most of the time.
And occasionally we provide you with some highbrow entertainment, if not informative.
Yeah. Entertainment, sometimes informative.
Yeah. I was trying to think what kind of brow we were, and what I came up with is that we are the overplucked 90s brow.
Yeah.
Because once you've started, there's no going back. Hello and welcome back. If you've made it to episode 2 of series 3 of You're Never the Only One, little name drop there, then thank you and congratulations. You've officially chosen chaos. And we love you for it. We love you for that. We may not have our shit together, but then who really has? And that's the premise of this entire podcast. So whether you're driving, you're cooking, you're working out, or you're just avoiding real life, I know the feeling. Strap in and let's get started. Why are you laughing?
Because you said strap in.
And then you thought of strap on.
Totally.
I know.
Yeah.
And
I won't be the only one. Because you're never the only one.
Ah, that's why I love you. This episode, like every other, unless I get poached by the BBC and whisked off to do my own spin-off show about dogs and how they heal your childhood trauma, I'm joined by Kat Sims. Kat recently wrote a book called The Mental Load, which is ironic because that's my nickname for her behind closed doors. Did you like that one?
Listen, I actually believe it. You're not wrong. I'm a lot. I've always known I'm a lot. It's fine. Fair enough. Listen, if you're just listening and not watching this, you may not know that we're now in a different studio this season.
Yeah.
It's halfway between my house and Emma's house. Before we were doing it in London, it was actually a schlep for everybody, wasn't it? And we're here for 2 days. We record 3 episodes.
What the fuck is coming?
Yeah.
Just lay it on me.
No. So Emma thinks that this change was because, we were working smarter and not harder. But it's really so that we can trap her here so she doesn't fucking turn up late every time.
Can I just say, who was on time today? Me. Thank you, Ben. Silently applauding from behind.
Nobody cares about Ben's opinion.
I just say, I was like, I questioned whether I was on the right day, because I said...
I did that as well. I called, but I just get this out there. Kira, who we're staying with, lovely Kira.
Yeah.
I called her on Tuesday and said, I'll see you tomorrow. And then I messaged her and I went, no, shit, sorry, it's the next day. And then she called me yesterday in a panic going, what time are you coming?
Oh, God.
And then messaged me and went, oh, shit, no, it's not today, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So between us, it'll be a miracle if we actually end up with anywhere to stay.
Oh, God, don't say that, please.
No, it's fine. I've spoken to her.
Oh, thank God.
Swimming pool's waiting.
Yay! Can't wait. Okay, so... thank you for that lovely roast, Kat.
You're welcome.
I'm glad that we kind of got the ball rolling now. Now we're on episode 2, because actually I was struggling for fodder.
I know.
I was like, I feel like I've exhausted all of my insults. So, as we progress, I'm sure there'll be more. Right?
I'll provide you with some more content, don't worry.
I'm sure. Now that's done, should we have a little catch up?
Yeah, let's do it. We haven't done that for a while. What's been on your plate at the moment, darling?
A lot.
Oh.
Lot of plates with lots on, all spinning.
Yeah.
And falling.
Slopping all over the place.
All over the shit. They're all full of soup. It's that kind of
nice.
shit show. But actually, something happened. I think you'll find this quite funny. Not this, that sounds wrong. I went to my dad's first wife's funeral.
Hilarious.
I went to my dad's first wife's funeral last week. And it was lovely. It was in the New Forest. Beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Lovely drive. Do you know what I mean? I enjoyed that.
Day out, isn't it, at our age?
Yeah.
Funeral. Free meal.
What did I say last? I said this to you, didn't I? Last episode, I was like, that's it, 50th and funerals for me. That's all there is. Anyway, she was a very thrifty woman. And she'd even said, my older sisters, obviously from my dad's first marriage, had said to me, well, she did say to us, I only live next door, to the funeral home, whether, they're going to do it all and burn my body. So just put me in a wheelbarrow. Take me over there in a wheelbarrow, I'll be fine.
It's got to be illegal.
So I had this image in my head, I kept thinking, please don't let me turn up, and she's kind of slumped in the wheelbarrow. No, she wasn't. She was already there waiting.
Oh, you mean like instead, not just like when she's
died. She wanted a hearse.
You mean instead of a hearse?
Instead of the hearse. She was like, don't
Brilliant.
worry about the hearse, just take me around, chuck me in the oven, I'll be done, right? So, bless her, she was great. But anyway, also... this is
one of those sun loungers with wheels.
A sun lounger with wheels?
Like if in fancy places they've got wheels on there, you could lie on there and just shift around in a sun lounger with wheels. Money Mum Official used it on a reel to move a sofa. So that's what gave me the idea.
Because I also realised when you go into rigor mortis, you can't really fold a body up and put it in a kind of. I did overthink this a little bit, but the sunbed thing would work.
Yeah.
You know, already flat out.
Totally.
Anyway, moving swiftly on. The wake was interesting.
Okay.
So she loved, like, she said, I just want kids' party food. So I got there and there was loads of, like, you know, the tinfoil hedgehogs with
The pineapple and cheese sticks.
My sister had spent ages doing all this, like, and then she had like what's the fizzy stuff that it has the like the bottle that's all kind of cut into. It's alcohol. You must remember. It wasn't that long ago.
The fizzy stuff.
You know, like a Fresnay. I knew you'd know it.
Yeah.
How many
they do a
times?
great do they? Fizz, actually.
Oh, well, there was none of that there. Anyway, it was all fully alcoholic. And then one of my sisters called and she said, "Come outside. We're going to release the doves." And I was like,
fucking hell. We've gone from kids' party food
I
to
know.
doves.
It was so random. Anyway, then my other sister went to me, "They're not doves, they're pigeons." And they're light-coloured pigeons. So it turned out the neighbour had these homing pigeons, right?
And they went and picked the lightest ones.
They got the lightest ones.
it.
And she lives next door, so they went, just like...
They just flew
up and landed next door, and we were like, yeah, they didn't do the kind of circling and
This is the kind of funeral I can get on board with.
Honestly, it was really wonderful. Aside from that, seeing all my like nieces and nephews, it was really, really lovely. So they released these pigeons and they flew around. Released the pigeons. It's ridiculous. They flew around for a bit, and I actually have a bit of a soft spot for pigeons.
Oh.
I know, right? And this is despite a really awful incident in Camden Town when I was like post-drama school doing some leafleting and I got shat on. I mean, this pigeon must have had a booner the night before because I swear to God, there was so much shit. I remember I felt it and I was like, oh. And I ran and I was in like a Camden's grotty at the best of times. I had to find like a pub toilet and go in and I'm there like, and at this point, you know what, I'm like my makeup and my hair. I mean, can you imagine? I had long blonde hair at this time and I was in the sink trying to rinse it out and then dry it under the dryer and hand out French Connection leaflets afterwards. Awful. But anyway, I have the reason.
That's real trauma.
I know.
But you still love them?
Well, I didn't for quite a long time until I saw this thing about pigeons, right? I think I might change your opinion of them as well, right? Because people have forgotten that pigeons, the reason why they're the only birds where they're near to like humans. You don't see any other, but you don't see woodpeckers, do you?
No.
You don't see like blue tits. They don't come round you, do they?
No.
Pigeons.
We never see those.
Never, particularly in the UK.
Yeah, no, just throwing it out there.
But pigeons, we domesticated them. We bred them initially.
Yeah.
For over 5,000 years, we have been using them and having them in our lives.
They were like the caveman's FedEx.
Do you know that pigeons used to deliver, like with the first
Messages.
ever Olympic Games, they delivered news of the winners. So we bred them, whether it's to eat, for company, whatever. And now we're like, fuck off, little ratty. I'm trying not to swear.
Are we a minute in yet?
But people really hate them, okay? But the other thing is, I saw this monument in Worthing, in this park in Worthing.
Yeah.
And it was about a pigeon that had won a war medal. And it turns out, I looked into it. I'm serious. Guys,
of all the places
Yeah.
I thought this podcast was going to go, I'm going to be honest, pigeons winning war medals was not on my bingo card today.
There were so many pigeons that helped us win the war. They're both world wars. They used to carry messages back and forth. There was this one pigeon that came back at the end of the war, but when it died, it had about 15 bullet wounds in it. See.
Tough little fucker, wasn't he?
Oh my God, they were amazing.
Listen.
They were amazing, and so I've got a little bit of a soft spot for them. So I ended up.
But they still, they let you get really fucking close, and then they flap up in your face.
But they've got wings. What are they supposed to do? Run away?
Yeah, they've also got legs.
Yes, but they're birds. I mean, if
Yeah,
you had the
but,
choice
like,
of getting away from someone, if they got really close to you and you had wings, what would you choose, to run or to fly?
Tell you what they could do to keep everybody happy is just not let me get so close. Just keep out of my way, and then not flap
Have you
up
not
in my
got
face.
enough space?
Not in London. Have you ever tried walking through London with pigeons and tourists?
Can I just say?
I can't tell which I hate more.
So Barley reads a book called Daisy and the Trouble With. It's an amazing series of books.
Yes, I've seen these
It's an incredible series of books. Daisy and the Trouble with London Johnny very sweetly used to read it with her, and then he said, we're going to go to London, we're going to go through all the things that Daisy did. So one of the things she did is she goes to Trafalgar Square to see the pigeons, to feed the pigeons. So he got all pigeon feed, went down there, big sign, don't
Do not
feed the
feed
pigeons. It doesn't matter. There's no pigeons anymore. There's no pigeons in Trafalgar Square anymore.
Stop it.
Honestly.
They've got like a hawk or something. There's a
They must have done.
We're going to have to post this on the socials, but there is a brilliant reel of this girl it looks like they're in some European square, like Italy or somewhere.
Yeah.
Loads of pigeons everywhere. And this
Yeah.
girl's maybe 5 or 6. She
Yeah.
just bends down, she just grabs the pigeons
Yes,
by the
it-
tail.
Yeah, and then
she's like, this one's for you, Daddy. She's like straight in there, just grabs them. It's brilliant.
Yeah, you can. You just grab them like chickens. You grab them quickly. Grab them
No.
quickly.
No, thank you.
But anyway, the next time that you you walk past them, maybe you won't see them as vermin because they still think they can trust us. They still think that's why you feel it now.
No,
you
that's
feel
not
it
fair. I
now.
feel like we're gaslighting
and they're
them
highly
now.
intelligent. And they mate for life. They mate for life as well.
Do they though?
They do, and they can get up to like 90 miles an hour. They're really fast motherfuckers. And so next time you see one, okay, I want you to just take the time to consider that, and also
Okay.
follow at littlegreenpigeon.com.
Is that where you got all your information?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's actually
All right,
that's
I'm going
the
to try
website.
and give pigeons a go.
Have some respect for the pigeons.
I'm going to try. But they scare me. Anyway, also, we had a pigeon once nesting outside our bathroom window in our flat in Willesden Green. And for some reason, it had baby pigeons and then they fled the nest. They left the nest.
Sorry,
And-
how ugly are baby pigeons, though?
Well, I don't know.
You don't often see them. Nobody ever sees them, but I did a loft extension once, and my God, they are really ugly.
Well, what's really ugly about them is that they have these things called bird mites. And once they left the nest, the bird mites had nothing to feed on, right? Or to live on.
God, not your children again.
Not my children. Through my bathroom, I don't have children at this point.
Oh, okay.
Through my bathroom window, suddenly I woke up one morning, I was still teaching, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and there was this, what looked like this sort of black oil dripping down the wall into the toilet.
Oh, my God.
And as I got closer, I realised it was not any kind of liquid. It was millions of tiny bugs, which at the time I didn't know what they were because I'd never heard of bird mites before. I got up and I was like, what is this? Vacuumed some of them up, bleached it, thought that was it done. Though you think cockroaches are going to survive a nuclear war, bird mites
Oh, my God.
are horrendous. And then Jimmy said before I said bird mites, whatever, just sort them out. He said, whatever you do, don't Google them. Obviously, the first thing I fucking did was Google them.
Obviously.
It was stories of people like these bird mites live on me. I cannot get rid of them. They're in my ears. I've tried to commit suicide twice because of these bird mites. Once you've got them, you can't get rid of them. Obviously, it's all bollocks, by the way. But I read enough of it to be like, literally, by the time Jimmy came home that night, I was rocking in the corner, crying, going...
Covered in bleach.
Covered in bleach, but swallowing it. I was like, this is the only thing I can do.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, we got exterminator out. By about midnight, Jimmy was like, we're going to have to do this now. It's an emergency. Like, I was climbing the walls.
I'm not surprised.
So we were wandering around Willesden Green at 2 a.m, waiting for the exterminator to finish.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, that was terrifying. So bird mites and pigeons. That's another reason why I don't like pigeons.
All right, okay. But just remember, they won war medals and stuff. So
Okay.
maybe like them a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my week, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but
Oh, is it about the book?
it's about the book.
Boring! Told you. It's going to run and run.
That came back to bite me in the arse. Listen, I'm bored of talking about it myself. I've even written that. I'm bored of talking about it myself. For anybody, writing a book is the easy part. Like, I could shit a book out for breakfast, honestly.
You do write really quickly.
That's not the problem.
What?
But the selling the book, unless you are J.K. Rowling or Richard Osman, I swear to God, it is a pint of flesh for every single sale. Every single sale. I'm exhausted. And also, it's basically the most soul-destroying, ego-crushing, humility-inducing, dignity-defying exercise ever because you're just begging all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you're just begging famous people and people who follow going, can you take a copy of my book? Will you come to my launch party? Can you post about it? And then they get a copy and you have to chase them up going, you wouldn't mind doing a post, would you? Like, it's just
God.
fucking tedious.
Oh, God.
But obviously, I'm very grateful to have the chance to publish a book, but it's a lot. Not a plug
There
for the
must
book.
be an easier way.
There must be, but I don't know what it is. Listen, what I'm trying to say is, it's been a lot.
Yeah, can I imagine?
It's been a lot.
You need some kind of publicity stunt.
Well, I thought what I would do is put signs up around London that
Yeah.
says, Jimmy, I've caught you, I've got proof, and then a QR code that says, scan this for the pictures, but then it takes them to my Amazon book page.
Oh, clever.
Yeah.
But I don't
do
think
it?
Jimmy, it needs something that's related to the book, potentially.
Well, don't know. I saw somebody do it with it. It was not my idea. I saw somebody do it with
you stole it?
Yeah, I stole
From
it. So
someone
it's
else?
with jewellery, marketing. Worked brilliantly.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll work on that.
Anyway,
We'll spitball it, as they say.
we'll spitball it. It needs work. It needs some work.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
got
yeah.
legs, but it needs some work.
What else?
That's honestly it. Like, it's just boring book
It's
stuff.
a lot.
It's a lot. There's not much else I've got room for. I've had to cancel all my social stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I'm getting there, though.
You're not that sociable, really, anyway.
No, I hate people.
That wasn't a lot. That
I
wasn't a
hate
lot of
people.
cancelling, was
Listen,
it?
when people are like, listen, I think you should cancel some stuff, I'm like, where's my red pen? I'm so sorry I can't come. I've been told to cancel stuff. Scale it back. People say I need to look after myself. I love it. I don't like going out. I don't really like people, so it's been perfect in that sense. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to a more even keel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So buy the book, and then I can stop flogging it. Thanks.
Please. And it is good as well. It is good. Right, so here on You're Never the Only One, we provide you with a melting pot of topics. We can be lowbrow at times.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. And occasionally we provide you with some highbrow entertainment, if not informative.
Yeah. Entertainment, sometimes informative.
Yeah. I was trying to think what kind of brow we were, and what I came up with is that we are the overplucked 90s brow.
Yeah.
Because once you started, there's no going back.
It's true. And it's also, there's only so good you can get. Do you know what I mean? We're never going to be the perfect brow.
No.
But we might be a good enough brow.
Yeah. We're not the same.
With a little bit of work and effort and some polishing.
And this week, Kat is taking the lead on the topic.
I am.
You are.
This is inspired by personal experience, which is always generally where our topics come from. But I want to talk about You're Never the Only One who thinks we're doing sex ed all wrong. Now, there's so much to say about this. And once I opened this can of worms, let me tell you, the internet delivered. I don't know what your experience was of sex ed at school. I don't remember getting any at primary school. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. I have the memory of a demented goldfish, but I do not have any recollection of it. I have a vague recollection of getting something in biology at secondary school, but I certainly don't remember any... if I got anything, it was very much the nuts and bolts of it, so to speak. It was the pregnancy stuff. It wasn't anything beyond that.
I think that was the same for me. From what I can remember.
Did you get taught how to put a condom on? I know there was lots of talk about people with bananas and condoms. Yeah, we didn't. I don't think we did that.
We were an all-girls boarding school.
Oh, me too.
I don't know if that was anything to do with it.
Maybe.
I think I learned everything through my mates.
And Just 17.
And More Magazine.
More Magazine.
Position of the fortnight.
Was it fortnight or month? It was fortnight, wasn't it?
Fortnight.
So what I've realised, though, is having kids of my own now, the conversation has come full circle, because they do teach this stuff in primary school.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm sure that this is the case with every primary school, but we were invited down to go to the school to talk about what they were going to be teaching our kids in the sex education element of PSHE, which I think we established was something to do with personal, social, health education. And I sat there in a room full of all the other parents, and they went on to talk about what they were going to teach and all the rest of it, and they put the diagrams up. Yeah. Which were like, these are the diagrams we're going to use to show the sex parts, boys and girls. Now, first of all, they were dry as fuck.
What do you mean?
Well, there was no they were just line drawings.
Oh, okay.
With arrows, right?
Yeah.
So no pubic hair, no with the book, we used to get the Usborne body book, and in there it was like a proper drawing of a proper body with a little bit of pubic hair, just a bit more realistic.
Yeah.
None of that. Every part of the boys' bits were labelled. Foreskin, shaft, balls, they obviously said testicles, the whole shebang. The girls, only the bits related to any kind of reproductive function were labelled, not even the vulva. And I have a big, big bee in my bonnet about this, because I was in my 30s when I realised that what I had been calling my vagina my entire life was actually my vulva, because I was never taught it. So that wasn't labelled. Clitoris wasn't labelled.
Can I just ask why? Is this for medical reasons? Do you think it's important that it's called the vulva and not just the vagina?
Well, no. It's like calling your nose your elbow. It's just not
Yeah, but
right.
but when do you need it to?
Well, this is exactly the point. In terms of girls, I do a lot of work with the Eve Appeal,
Yeah.
and they're very, very insistent on the education around naming parts, because you have to give kids the language and girls the language to be able to describe accurately what's wrong with them.
Right, okay, that's what I
So
wanted
if
to get to.
they're-
Is it the medical?
If
okay,
they're saying,
yeah.
or if somebody's touching them in an inappropriate way, you know,
Yeah.
they need to have the right language to be able to describe what's wrong.
Yeah.
They need to know what something should look like, so they know when it looks different.
Yeah.
You know, all of that sort of stuff. But they need to be able to have the language. But there's no reason at all why we shouldn't be giving kids the names of their body parts.
Yeah.
Anyway, that all aside, I put my hand up because I'd seen these documents and I was like,
Of course
I
fucking
did. Let me tell
Go on.
you, this was a tough half hour for everybody involved, but I was relentless. Put my hand up and I said, why isn't the vulva and the clitoris labelled?
Yes.
I mean, nobody had an answer. They were
Right.
mortified. They didn't have the words. It was like they were stumbling. They were like, and I was just like, I don't understand why these aren't naughty words. These are the words that of their body parts. We can't just like ignore them,
Yeah.
delete them from the experience, because the girls know they have them,
Yeah.
but they don't know what they are or what they're doing. Let's teach them this. So that didn't go down. Went down like a shit sandwich.
Did any other parents have anything to say on it?
No. My area is very ethnically diverse.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different approaches to
Yes.
the sex education, which is part of the reason why we're in the hall in the first place.
Right.
Because, and this is the other thing I have a bugbear about, parents are allowed to remove their
Yes, I
children
know.
from these classes.
Yeah.
And this is my opinion. It does not need to be discussed as being right or wrong. I think I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I just disagree with that. I think it reinforces shame. I don't think it's the parents who are happy to talk about it and give them a proper education at home. It's not those parents. It's the parents who don't want to talk about it at all.
It's a cultural
that
thing
take
a
them.
lot of the
It's
time,
a cultural
isn't it?
thing. And I get that.
Yeah.
I understand that. But I also, culture aside, all girls need this information. It is not information that you can cherry pick and go, you don't need to know that. All girls should have this information. So that's my opinion. You do you, boo. Anyway, we moved on. And they started talking to us about how they were going to teach periods. And you can tell everybody's on edge at this point.
Waiting for you to
They're
put your
waiting.
hand up.
They're
probably.
waiting. Because let me tell you what they said. They were going to separate the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
Because, and I quote, to make the boys more comfortable. And they were going to have, this is my favourite bit, they were going to get a woman to teach the girls about periods.
Yeah.
And they were going to get a man to teach the boys about periods.
Yeah. This is exactly what they've done in our school as well.
So obviously, my hand went up. Everybody's like, fucking hell, this bitch. Head teacher, like this, his head in his hands.
Oh,
He's
no.
just like, I'm not backing off this.
Yeah.
This is important to me. I've got two girls.
You've got us here for this reason. If you don't want our
We're going to
feedback-
have this conversation.
Yeah.
I don't care how uncomfortable everybody is. We're fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And I said, I'd like to know why you're separating them in the first place, and why on earth, on what planet, do we think that a man teaching boys about periods is the right way to do this? And they were like, well, we thought, it would make the boys more comfortable.
Oh my God.
Well-
did you just, I can't even imagine what you're.
I said, my priority is not about making boys feel comfortable.
Go on.
It's about putting boys and girls in a room and talking about this stuff in a way that I don't care let's make the boys feel a little bit uncomfortable. Let's get them out of that. Let's get them through that discomfort when they're 9 or 10, so that they're not still being uncomfortable about it at 16 or 17,
Yes.
26, 36, 46. They are going to be uncomfortable. We have to make them uncomfortable.
Yes.
Fucking let's do it. It is a
Yes.
bit uncomfortable. None of us want to sit here and talk about sex and vulvas and vaginas, but we're here, so let's fucking do it properly. And also, we're not having a man teaching boys about periods because they don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's not just, yes, all right, you can talk about the logistics of it. You can talk about the biology and how the egg goes and the uterus lining and we bleed for 5 days and don't die. We can talk about all of that. But the reality is it's more than that. It's about the hormones. It's about how it makes a woman feel. It's about how she is a different human being sometimes when this is happening. It's about
Yeah.
PMT and what that is. Endometriosis. Why are we not talking about that? Polycystic ovary syndrome. Men cannot teach this stuff because they don't know. Like, all right, they can get out of a textbook, but you want a woman going, this is really important because when if that's the way you choose to go, live with a woman and decide to attach your life to a woman, you're going to need to know this shit. And it's not on her to teach you.
Yeah.
You should come fucking prepared.
Oh my God, you're amazing. I would have been like that.
Yeah, we didn't go down very well.
Was there any other like parents though that were?
I mean, there was a few, but
a few
I'm
mushrooms.
gobby, and there's not very many people who are willing to put their head above the parapet, and I get it. But I just think it's one of these things that we aren't challenging enough, because even the education that they're getting is bare minimum. Nobody's talking about pleasure in sex. We're not talking about masturbation.
Aww.
We're not talking about any of those things. We're not talking about the nuance of like relationships and sex and the feelings and all of that stuff. All we're doing is fear mongering. A lot of it is like pregnancy, diseases. That was certainly what it was in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
It was like, this is all about how not to get pregnant.
It's abstinence.
And if you don't use a condom, you'll probably get AIDS and die.
And can I just say, I think it's even more important now, because in those times we didn't have, and we were discussing this a bit earlier when I said to you, that children didn't have access to social media like they do now.
Yeah.
And younger than they should be, but that's up to parents. But the fact is that they're going to see stuff which is way older than they should be.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's better that it's controlled.
But it's also, it's like there's, how much talk is there about consent at primary school age? Like, there wasn't any discussion of it in the chat that we had. And I think that's when we need to be talking about consent.
Because at primary, don't they do it? They do it bit by bit. I'm sure they do it incrementally.
Yeah, I think they start up. Well, I think they do PSHE incrementally. I think it's like year 4-5 where they do the juicy stuff.
Right. Okay.
I think it's year 5. But for me, it just feels like we compartmentalise it too much. It's like, right, let's do sex.
Yeah.
But there's no like relationship stuff. There's no pleasure stuff. There's no. You're not joining the fucking dots between that and when you need to say no, that's not okay to somebody. Or this is what you need to call this part. Like, it's just all the dots aren't joined up.
Yeah.
And I just think that we're so afraid of teaching this thing because it's still so much shame around it.
Yeah.
Which still, people are embarrassed. People don't want to use the right words, which all of that feeds into our kids. Like, we know it. Like, our kids giggle when it's sex and then they vomit. It's like they are automatically uncomfortable about that stuff. That doesn't come from nowhere. That comes from our whole society's fucking approach to this, to sex, and specifically to female bodies as being shameful, something we don't talk about, the words, all the rest of it. And it just needs to change.
Yeah, there's a really wonderful charity, actually, called Respected, that provide, because it's really outdated, like you say, what they're providing in schools.
Hugely.
And some schools, particularly if they are religious, certain religious schools,
don't even get
they
me
won't
started.
even do that. They don't even do it at all. And so it actually was started by a doctor, and she's come up with all the information you could possibly need. She's done videos. It's really engaging.
Yeah.
It's also, it's done with younger people in it. So it's not some old nun kind of or fuddy-duddy kind of saying stuff that puts children. It's really engaging for their age group. And she sells it as a package to schools. And that's what the charity's about.
And it's a really smart idea. But the problem is, if half the kids are taken out of that class, what's the point? Because all they're going to do is they're not in that class. The kids come out. They go, what did you learn in that class? Kids tell them their version of what they learned in that class, which, let's be honest, is going to be inaccurate at best. And then this whole thing is just messy. I do not think kids should be allowed to be taken out of it. This is not anything to be ashamed of. This is biology. It's like saying, can I take my kid out of trigonometry?
So you think it should be mandatory?
I do think it should be mandatory. Yeah, I do. 100% I do. And I think it's about safety, and I think it's about empowerment, and I think it's about protection, and I do think it should be 100% compulsory.
I'd really be interested to hear people's take on that.
Me too. Also, the discussion about consent, just on that, there's something I wanted to say. There's a great meme that's about making a cup of tea for somebody. We'll put it in the link. We'll put it in the show notes. We'll post it on the social. That's a great way to teach consent. It's brilliant. But my friend in America, Reagan, who I love, she's my parenting guru. She's just brilliant. She has 2 boys. And as soon as they were talking and playing and interacting with other kids, she was very, very clear about, you cannot put your hands, like, she's always been, you do not put your hands on people. Like, this is a consent issue.
Yeah.
And she started it in a very non-sexual way,
Yeah.
which was leaning into like also pushing and shoving and all of that. But it also has like, as they've got older, she's like, this is, we do not put our hands on girls. Like, you know, so for her, it was just right from the start, consent is a really big, important point. Boys need to be taught it. Girls need to understand that they can exercise it.
Yeah.
That's the other problem. You know, I spent a lot of time shagging boys and kissing boys I didn't really want to because I'd sort of got a little bit, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to be, and all of this is the same stuff. Like teaching biology, the mechanics of it. But if we're doing it in PSHE and calling it social education, it's got to be more rounded. It's got to be more nuanced. It's got to be joining up the dots.
That's tricky, that consent, though, aside from the kind of sexualised side of it. Like, kind of the, like, obviously in the playground, not being able to play, tag? Or not being, I mean, how far are we
It's not
going
saying you
with it?
can't put hands on people. It's like there has to be consent. So anytime you put your hands on somebody
Yeah.
without consent, you're at risk.
So it's like, we're going to play this game. Who wants to play? That's consent.
Yes.
Like, okay, fine.
Totally.
Okay.
You know, but if it's like, you know, we're slapping bottoms or whatever, or even slapping arms or whatever, and we haven't.
There's a lot of that I've had that happens at primary, and I've had to go to the head teacher, and just say that's not.
And it's not the fault of the people that are doing it.
No,
Like,
no,
kids
no.
are kids and they mess around, that's fine. But we've got to educate them on this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Like, they're allowed to make that mistake, but we have to be able to have a conversation that's like, you know, you can't really do that without the consent of the other person. You know, it's, and I just think we're too shy in attacking this subject properly, because inevitably, if you go a little bit deeper, you have to go really deep, and then you talk, and I think we're backing off from it too much.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I
No,
don't know. We have got lots of what do we call it? Oh God, my brain. Hello, where are
People
you?
have interacted with the topic. Did you put it out there?
Yeah, I did. Of course I did. Who didn't? Of course. That's like my one job when I've got doing it. So here we go. We got an email that said, ooh, this is how it starts. Ooh, sex ed. Again.
How many O's?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
But again, you know, she's been waiting to get this off her chest for a long time.
Let's hear it.
This is the place. My deputy head at high school delivered sex education and she was ace. Love this. The delivery, that is. The content, archaic, heavy, factual, textbook, blah, blah, blah. Clearly didn't work. My husband attended the same school and thought a period lasted 28 days with a week off, and that 2 condoms were better than 1.
Wow.
I know. I had to be the educator with this one.
Funnily enough, in menopause, it does feel like a period lasts 28 days.
That's true.
And you've got 1 week off.
100%.
And actually, aside from the bleeding, mine kind of does. Like as in like
The emotional side of it.
Yeah, it does feel like it's most of the month.
Maybe you're just a cunt.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. School, we walked in and sat down, and this is how they taught it. We walked in and sat down. Bollocks, she announced. Plums, balls. What about dicks and fannies? Right on cue, the entire class did a collection of belly laughs, gasps, and sheer silent, dumbfounded expression, but it worked. She broke the ice and made a potentially awkward encounter less cringy. The content was dull as fuck, though. I have what people maybe would consider a dangerous or liberal approach, which I think I probably agree with. Obviously, it has to be age appropriate and the content delivery versus the content delivery at the core. So that's the other thing. It's like, we can still talk about this stuff. Of course, it has to be age appropriate.
Yeah.
But my opinion is, don't lie. Tell them sex feels better without a condom, but the consequences are potentially devastating. And use real examples of a teen mum, someone with AIDS, a cauliflower cock from an STD.
Wow.
Also tell them the first time is shit, utterly shit, and not this grand movie-esque rom-com experience. But also teach them about pleasure. It's not like a porno. Women need to be coaxed to that point of explosion. Funnily enough, the wham-bam jackhammer technique does fuck all, apart from give you a UTI. Let's talk about masturbation and vibrators. Doesn't mean you have to give up your virginity. Have sex with yourself. Maybe it's not the answer, but this fucked archaic school system is doing jack shit, in my opinion. Or you could have a mum like mine, prudish as hell, got tanked off a Guinness six-pack, stumbled into my room and queried, slurred to 16-year-old me, do you know about gobbling?
Sorry.
I hadn't read the end of that. That's the first time I've read that. Oh my God, that's brilliant. I love that the mum decided to get pissed and her opening line was, do you know about gobbling? Gobbling. Gobbling's a great word, isn't it? We don't use that word enough. Not even sexually, just gobbling.
Gobbling.
It's
Gobble,
very,
gobble.
it's very
You
onomatopoeic.
talk about it quite a lot.
Oh, I do have a gobble gobble. It's very onomatopoeic.
Is that noshing off? Is that?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Noshing off.
She went straight in there.
Yeah. Do you know about
Wow.
gobbling?
What?
Do you know? I hope she's northern.
Oh.
Do you know about gobbling?
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble gobble.
I want to know what came next after that. Where'd you go?
I think she just went, get out now.
Okay.
And off she fucking popped. So that is brilliant. I do largely agree with that. I do think there's a lot of chat about, in fact, on the masturbation topic, somebody said, okay, tell me why my 10-year-old needs to know about masturbation. Why does she need to know how babies are made? Let her be a child for a while longer. I get the sentiment.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But I go back to my old thing. We've got to accept the world the way it is and not the way we want it to be. And the fact is, I don't think it's harming your children to learn about their own bodies. Like, I think this is a social thing that we are placing on top of this is destroying their innocence or whatever. It's fucking biology.
I was about to say it is biology.
It's biology.
And often that's, you know, I'm not saying this is what you're doing, whoever's sent that email in, but often we're projecting the shame that we have grown up with. And actually it's not something to be shameful, talking about your body and self-pleasure. And actually I think the way it's been with my girls is that that's something, as long as they've felt that they can have an open line of communication and talk to me about anything without me shutting it down.
Yeah.
That actually when they start to discover things themselves, they can talk to me about it. But, you know, without going into too much detail, from personal experience through as a parent, it's really weird how, even though I've got that open line of communication on a journey of discovery, one of them, you know, was feeling shame around it anyway.
Yeah.
It's like it's deeply
in the
ingrained.
zeitgeist.
It's
It is
crazy. And I was like, what are you talking? And I brought her dad in and we spoke about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I've got my mum, who's, even if they go to itch themselves now, stop, don't touch that. Don't do that.
So weird, isn't it?
It's like, no,
but this is where they get it from.
Yeah.
This is where they get it from. And it's nobody's fault because, listen, I hate, you know, the patriarchy got off scot-free last episode, didn't they? We don't even mention it once. Well, we're bringing it in again. This is what it is.
Okay.
You know, women have been made to feel shame about their bodies, especially their vaginas and their vulvas and all of that stuff. Like, how many times did you hear, like, fishy fanny? All of this stuff as a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was always... Nobody ever talked about the fact that a cock
Disco
smells.
dick.
Cock smell.
Yeah.
Like, boys do not wipe the wee off their willy.
No.
They give it a shake, and then that wee dries on their penis, and it smells of wee.
Yeah.
And it tastes of wee, boys. Just saying. I'm not wrong, am I? No. So I get it, and I do think, you know, but I don't think this is the place where we should be shielding our children. I also had this, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
This was her version of sex education. We just watched a video.
Hold on a minute.
Just a follower, sorry.
Okay.
Follower's version of sex education. She said, we just watched a video. They showed a cartoon erection and a boy in the class shouted, "It's Pinocchio!" Everyone laughed, so they turned it off and that was pretty much
Right,
it.
hold on a minute. A cartoon erection. So I'm trying to imagine what this looks like. Is it literally just a balls and penis, bing, or is it attached to a cartoon boy, or is it
in my mind, it's a side on.
Yeah.
It's from the side.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a, like, waist to top of the thigh.
Right.
And you just see it go like that.
Right, okay.
And I think Pinocchio is a perfect response
It's a perfect
to that.
response.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in so many ways.
Pinocchio went out, didn't he?
Yeah.
He grew outwards.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm just thinking this is more of a kind of, the trajectory is like that.
It's true. You're not wrong.
If it went like that, I would feel...
You know how sometimes Emma talks about how she overthinks things?
No, but you know when you just think... I feel like it's bad, because for boys, I feel bad, like Johnny said to me, sometimes you sat on the train and it happens. You know, or they be in class and it just happens. This is true, isn't it? He's nodding, our producer. This is when we need a male's, you know... Perspective.
Input.
But you imagine if it just went... That would be...
Yeah, like it was being served to you on a plate.
You can't tuck that in your waistband, can you, Ben?
No.
You see? Because that's what they do, don't they? They tuck
it in their waistband.
Yeah, well, if you've got a big dang-a-lang, you
Oh.
can.
Jesus, that's 2 episodes now. We've done it. 2 episodes.
Sorry.
2 out of 2.
Sorry.
some voice notes?
Yes, please.
I love the voice notes.
I love them too.
Hang on, here we go. I think we've even got a man. I know.
I'm scared for him a little bit.
No, I wouldn't be. Let me find it. Obviously, it helps to be prepared.
You are so
Episode
prepared
2.
today, Kat.
I'm not, even slightly. Need to connect to the bloody hellfire. Sorry about this, kids. Just hold, please, caller.
You'd be such a good headmistress. Do you think she'd be a good headmistress? Because you used to be a teacher, didn't you?
I did used to be a teacher.
Yeah, I think you'd be a really great headmistress. I don't know whether you would have been before, but now, I'd be well chuffed if you were if you were my kid's headmistress.
Would you? They would definitely be sitting sex ed, let me tell you.
Yeah, I know. I'd love it. I love your take on it.
Right, here we go. Here's the first one.
Go on.
If someone's kid is actually coming home from school and letting their mums and dads
That's
know
not a
what's
man.
happening
This is not a man. We're starting with the
their
girl.
primary school sex ed, then I would love to know what the parents are putting in that kid's water. I know what's going on at school. Not quite sure how it's landing, but from my own experience, I did have sex education in the 7th grade in middle school. But my real sex education came the year after when I started learning from my peers what all the naughty stuff was and being able to sort of contextualize it. I think that from my experience, the sex ed was very much biologically based. It was very sort of anatomy, what it does, and it didn't really link up in my brain about that, that is the activity.
Yes, that's the thing. We're not joining the dots.
And makes babies and not, I didn't put it together. So I remember we didn't have chats about it at home, and I lost my virginity, and I was in so much pain that I told my mum because I was worried that something was wrong, and she took me to the condom aisle, and that was it. Everything else I sort of was dripped down from my peers. And I kind of suspect that that's what's happening in school as well. I have spoken to both my children about it already. I wanted to get a lead on it. I wanted to use my words and really not skirt around the issue and just be quite frank and direct. And it seems to have landed, but I don't know.
It's honestly, I think if we were to teach actually what hand jobs were, what blow jobs were, what oral sex was.
To year 5s?
No, not necessarily to year 5s, but
Okay.
certainly to secondary school kids. We're talking about grading this, but I think it would take a lot of the. I think you'd find kids would be less willing to do it. Honestly, if I'd been told as a kid that part of sex would include noshing somebody off, I think I would have stayed away from it for a lot longer than I did.
The noshing off part or the sex part?
Well, probably all of it. I mean, I don't even know why I bloody started. Nothing but trouble. Nothing but fucking trouble. I love my kids. Karen. No, we shouldn't use Karen anymore, should we? I've got a really good friend called Karen.
Yeah.
And she says the last few years have been really hard. She said it's been really hard.
Is that real?
I mean, it's funny, don't get me wrong, but I'm not lying. She's like, it's been really hard if you're a Karen. If your name's Karen, the last few years have been really hard. If you're not anyway, the girl who started all this, it was the girl in the park with the dog. Do you remember?
No.
Anyway, her name was Amy. So I don't know where Karen came from. Anyway, to all Karens out there, not. Anyway, I digress.
All right, so you think we should be teaching
I think we should be
secondary school
teaching
children?
everybody. Yeah, just get it out there.
Hold on a minute. I'm trying to get my head around this. So you're talking about teaching 11-year-olds about blowjobs.
No.
And then what?
I'm
Be
talking
specific.
I'm talking about at some point, by the time these kids are 14, 15, they should have been taught about sex as not just a functional thing where you can get a disease or pregnant, but sex as something you are going to do for fun. This is why you need to use a condom. This is how you put a condom on.
Yeah.
2 is not necessary, by the way. This is part of sex. Sex isn't just penis in a vagina. Sex is also blowjobs. I mean, oral sex. We don't have to use blowjobs if you don't want to. Everybody knows what we're talking about. But it's all sorts of other things.
Yeah.
Nobody sat me down and went, this is what sex also is. I just thought sex was penis and a vagina. Like, I just think we're leaving them to figure it out by themselves. They are going to figure it out.
We're leaving it to the internet nowadays.
We're leaving it to the
be
internet
honest.
or to them to
I
figure it
guarantee
out.
I guarantee there's a load of people that are sat in that classroom with you watching that who let their kids on YouTube or,
Totally,
Instagram
and won't
or
let
TikTok.
them in the class. Yeah.
And it's like, and won't let them in the sex ed class.
But I would rather my daughter found out what a blowjob was from a class where everybody was finding out at the same time than found herself suddenly with a boy who decided to suddenly start pushing her head down a bit.
Yeah.
And then doing that.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't feel good to me. I want her to know what that's all about.
Yeah.
Before she finds herself in that position.
Yeah.
I don't care if that makes me sound bonkers. That's what I'd rather.
No.
And if school aren't going to do it, I'm going to have to teach about blowjobs. And frankly, I'd rather school did it.
Oh, God, that. Oh, no.
I know, do you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do
What
that.
happens if, like, but also what happens if a boy tries to put it in the wrong hole?
I think she'd know about it.
I think she would know about it, but not necessarily if it was her first time, she might not.
No.
If nobody's mentioned
all right,
that anal sex is a thing.
I've got to tell you this. Okay, so when I moved to where I moved to, so a friend of mine told me a story and she picked up her daughter. Her daughter said, "Can you come and get me from this party? I'm not comfortable. I want to go home." And when she got there, all the kids were they're about 15 years old. They're all in the garden, all doing anal. And she was like, "What?"
I think you might have told us this story, but for new listeners, I do think it's worth going back to the well a second time.
Okay, so basically it's because apparently it's quite a trend now. It's what they're doing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, here. I'm not at that stage yet. But it was backed up by an article I read in GQ because basically it means that they don't see it as losing their virginity. They can't get pregnant. Do you know what I mean? And then this article, I thought, this is bullshit. She's lying, whatever. I saw this article in GQ and I read it. It's about this doctor who's moving out the suburbs because she was like, I cannot deal with the amount of teenagers I've got coming in with anal prolapse.
Now, this is the result of what happens when you don't teach kids about sex as an activity.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you don't teach them when you don't get into the weeds of it, for want of a better phrase, or into the bushes of it, because they're all in the bushes doing anal, apparently.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want that.
No.
I want my daughter, if she wants to do... This is I'd never thought I'd have to say this sentence out loud. My daughter wants to have anal sex. That needs to be on her terms because she knows all about it and that's what she's decided she wants to do.
Yeah.
Not because she's worried about getting pregnant or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I would really love to hear from parents of teens and how you've navigated. I mean, personally, I would love to hear that, kind of how you've navigated this and what those kind of conversations, what they entailed.
Agreed.
100%.
Should we do the boys' WhatsApp?
The voice note?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex education in the 90s was, I think, mainly just fear-mongering and a desperate attempt to make sure people didn't get pregnant.
Women didn't get pregnant.
I don't really remember any talk of consent or even pleasure. I definitely put a condom on a
banana,
some sort of fruit or veg.
Yeah.
Can't quite remember. I don't really remember being taught much about vaginas.
No, of course not.
Mainly just how to put a condom on. And probably the scientific detailed drawings
Yes.
of our organs.
That's it.
And that's it.
And that's it. And that's all we get.
And that's basically what I think most of us got, yeah.
And I don't
remember getting that.
And I don't even think that they're getting much more now. I think it's dressed up as in a bit of a fancier outfit, like, oh, look how forward-thinking we are, we're teaching 11-year-olds. But let's also be honest, 9-year-olds are having periods. So it is not too soon to be teaching this stuff. And just on masturbation, that's a really important thing as well, because it was a conversation I was forced to have very early on, because there are lots of kids that find that as a mode of comfort.
Yeah.
As young 18 months old, you'll find them like humping things, right? That's really common.
Yeah.
And so as those children get older, I'm trying not to drop my daughter in it, but here we are.
Yeah.
But like as children get older, they don't necessarily know to stop that.
Yeah.
Right. So we had to have a conversation about how it was really normal and natural.
Yeah.
But that it's also something that you do in private.
Yeah.
Not on the bus or on the sofa.
Yeah.
When we've got friends around. Do you know what I mean? Yes. Like, bless her little bunny's taken a hammering. But it was just a natural form of comfort that she discovered. You said that was how she put herself to sleep.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 when she was little.
Well, I hear her.
So, if, masturbation it's not a dirty word. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
We only ever, if anybody talks about masturbation, we talk about it with boys and teens, obviously, the crusty socks and the sheets that you can break in half and all of that shit.
It's a lot more about male masturbation.
So always, of course there is. Always. Women are really, really fucking hard done by. And I think because I've got girls and you've got girls, I do take this more serious. Because at the end of the day, if they're not given this information, it's not, it's not men that really suffer. Like, women end up pregnant. Like, at the end of the day, they're the ones that end up with babies. They're the ones that end up, 9 times out of 10, women's biggest predator is man. That is a fact. And so, they're the ones that if they don't know, they're not empowered enough to know enough about their body and to know what's consent and what's not. The women are the ones that end up hurt, generally. It's not always, I understand that. But, I just think it makes my blood boil that there are women who are mothers. And again, I'm going to get a lot of you upset, and I don't mean it's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it's right. I struggle with women who are mothers who do not agree with giving our kids as much fucking information at an appropriate time, in an appropriate way as we possibly can. And I do think that's younger than most people think it is.
Oh, meaty one, Kat.
Meaty!
I think we're going to get quite a lot of feedback on that. If you're someone who wants to have their say on sex ed, if it's being done right, isn't being done right, your experiences personally, if it affected your life, then we'd love to hear from you. As always, you can have your say or share your stories on any of the topics that we've covered on the podcast.
That's true. So make sure you email us at you'renevertheonlyone@gmail.com or send us a message or voice note. And if it's voice note, no longer than 90 seconds, please, at 07457 402 704 or DM us on Instagram at You're Never the Only One.
That's it. I think we're done for this week, aren't we?
We are. Next week, you're taking the helm. What's
Stop
up?
it. I think we're going to have to change
we've
that
used helm
wording.
twice now,
I can't
haven't we?
because it's just...
You're just thinking of helmet. That's what it is. It's helmet.
It is helmet, yeah. Taking the helm.
Yes.
I am. But we're staying on the kind of along the same lines of kids, really, in the sense of like the growing up of children. So
Well, the thing that they naturally do.
The natural...
miserable.
I know. You're never the only one.
And I don't like young children. I'm still struggling with it.
Exactly. Who basically struggling with their children growing up. I miss those pillowy, soft cheeks. I just and I miss it in a way that just actually makes me sad and brings me to tears. I feel like I've woken up and they've gone and I didn't enjoy it, and I just want to. I'm loving the children, like, and how they're growing and what they're becoming, but I am mourning the little stuff, the bagel wrists. Do you know what I mean?
Bagel wrists.
The way they used to say rocket as wocket.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Fin-gin-gin instead of fire engine.
Oh my God, you see?
Fin-gin-gin.
I know I'm not the only one on this, but that's what we're going to be covering next week. So, yeah, that is it. You're never the only one who's struggling with their children growing up.
Brilliant. Well, listen, get in touch with anything. And also not just about that, get in touch with sex ed, get in touch with what we talked about last week, which was something else. What was it?
What were we talking about? It feels so long ago now.
I know. It was actually this morning, because obviously we're recording in bulk.
Shh.
Fourth wall broken.
Are we going to tell people that? I thought we were keeping that as a secret.
No, I've done it on stories now.
Oh, balls. Okay, we were talking about kind of not liking your friends' partners' friends and all that.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
You can always get in touch. We'll be bringing up old and new information and comments on every episode. And with that, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Ciao for now.
You're Never the Only One is written and presented by Kat Sims and Emma Nicolay and produced by Radiant Management. Executive producers are Katie Ray and Parami Kodikara. Podcast operations are managed by Shell Regini, who also expertly takes care of the podcast social media. And our theme tune, Everybody Makes Mistakes, is written and performed by the band Hot Salad.
Everything's okay. Picking up like everyone else each and every day. When it feels that You're allowed to be happy too.